The veil has lifted, and the world is about to meet the version of you they never saw coming. Today, the air feels charged, as if the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for your next move. You stand taller now, not out of rebellion, but out of a quiet, undeniable knowing. Every step you take leaves an imprint of purpose. The shadows of self-doubt that once lingered are now just whispers in the distance, drowned out by the roar of your awakening. In your reflection, you no longer see a seeker but a force, a sovereign being who carries the untamed energy of stars and the relentless will to carve your own destiny. The veil has lifted, and the world is about to meet the version of you they never saw coming. Today, the air feels charged, as if the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for your next move. You stand taller now, not out of rebellion, but out of a quiet, undeniable knowing. Every step you take leaves an imprint of purpose. The shadows of self-doubt that once lingered are now just whispers in the distance, drowned out by the roar of your awakening. In your reflection, you no longer see a seeker, but a force, a sovereign being who carries the untamed energy of stars and the relentless will to carve your own destiny. The ones who drained you, who twisted your kindness into their lifeline, never understood the alchemy taking place within you. They thought they were breaking you, but every wound they inflicted became a forge, tempering your spirit into something unyielding. The poison they poured into your soul was transmuted into wisdom, clarity, and strength. Every lie, every abandonment, every ounce of manipulation sharpened your instincts, teaching you to see through the masks of those who would try again. What they could never have foreseen is that you are no longer a victim of their games. You are the master of your own story, immune to their tactics, and stronger than they ever imagined. Every attempt to shatter you only tightened the coil of your resilience, winding it into an unstoppable force. The universe wasn't just testing you, it was preparing you, sharpening you, aligning you with the kind of power that doesn't just endure, but transforms. Now, the tension is gone, the slingshot released, and you're soaring beyond the limits they tried to impose. The very foundation of their illusions is trembling beneath the weight of your ascent. Those who once thrived on your setbacks will now stand in awe, silenced by the brilliance of your rise, a force they can neither control nor comprehend. You've become the storm they never saw coming. This journey was ignited in the quiet moment when the world turned its back, assuming you'd crumble under the weight of their doubts. It was in that silence that three forces awakened: the pain that sharpened your edges, the resilience that anchored your soul, and the fire that refused to be extinguished. Together, they forged a storm so fierce it didn't just weather the chaos, it reshaped it. The ones who underestimated you couldn't see the blueprint hidden in your scars, the cosmic design that would turn every setback into a stepping stone. They gambled on your downfall, but what emerged was a force of nature they could neither predict nor control. The first force was a lesson disguised as love, a bond that stripped you bare until you finally saw the truth. Salvation doesn't come from self-sacrifice. They craved the warmth of your light, but recoiled at its brilliance, wanting only the parts of you that served their needs while rejecting the wholeness of who you are. You gave endlessly, hoping to fill a void that was never yours to carry, until the well ran dry and you realized the cost of being everything for someone who gave nothing. It wasn't love, it was a mirror, reflecting back the boundaries you needed to build and the self-worth you were destined to reclaim. The second force was the cage disguised as circumstance, a system meticulously designed to clip your wings while convincing you that you should be grateful to crawl. Every rejection, every closed door, every stolen opportunity served as a reminder of how the game was rigged against you. Yet, in the suffocating grip of scarcity, you unearthed a power they couldn't account for, a relentless drive to create your own doors, your own keys, your own way out. The trap they set to keep you small became the blueprint for your expansion, proving that no amount of manipulation or orchestrated limitation could suppress someone destined to rise. The third force was the betrayal cloaked in familiarity, the people you trusted most subtly, planting seeds of doubt in the soil of your dreams. Their words, laced with false concern, cut deeper than any strangers could because they knew just where to aim. They called it help, but it was control. They called it love, but it was manipulation. Yet, in the chaos of their gaslighting, you found clarity. The universe was stripping away every illusion, pushing you to stop shrinking for their comfort and to claim the space you were always meant to fill. What they thought was breaking you was actually sharpening you, turning their whispers of doubt into fuel for your unshakable belief in yourself. The third force was the betrayal cloaked in familiarity, the people you trusted most subtly, planting seeds of doubt in the soil of your dreams. Their words, laced with false concern, cut deeper than any strangers could because they knew just where to aim. They called it help, but it was control. They called it love, but it was manipulation. Yet, in the chaos of their gaslighting, you found clarity. The universe was stripping away every illusion, pushing you to stop shrinking for their comfort and to claim the space you were always meant to fill. What they thought was breaking you was actually sharpening you, turning their whispers of doubt into fuel for your unshakable belief in yourself. Because here's what they never understood about you: you weren't created to stay small, to fit into the boxes they crafted for their comfort. When the pressure hit its peak, when every escape route was sealed, you didn't shatter, you ignited. You began to say no with a clarity and conviction that shook the very ground beneath their feet. No to the expectations that demanded your silence. No to the systems that thrived on your submission. No to the idea that your worth was negotiable. Each no was a reclamation of power, an earthquake dismantling the fragile towers of control they had built atop your boundaries. They called you selfish, ungrateful, difficult, but what they really meant was unstoppable. And with every no, you cleared the rubble of their illusions, creating space for the life you were always meant to live, one built on your terms, free from the weight of their expectations. And then it hit you. The weight you had been carrying wasn't just yours. It was the residue of lifetimes, the echoes of old wounds, unfinished lessons and cycles that had played out over and over again. Every goodbye, every boundary drawn, every step away from what no longer served you wasn't just an act of self-preservation. It was an act of liberation across time. With every severed tie, you could feel the chains of ancient agreements dissolving, the karmic knots untangling. You weren't just healing yourself, you were rewriting the story of your soul. This wasn't just about this life. It was about every life, about breaking free from the timelines that had kept you small and stepping fully into the infinite potential that had always been waiting for you. This was your rebirth, your cosmic reset. Then it hit you. The weight you had been carrying wasn't just yours. It was the residue of lifetimes, the echoes of old wounds, unfinished lessons and cycles that had played out over and over again. Every goodbye, every boundary drawn, every step away from what no longer served you wasn't just an act of self-preservation. It was an act of liberation across time. With every severed tie, you could feel the chains of ancient agreements dissolving, the karmic knots untangling. You weren't just healing yourself, you were rewriting the story of your soul. This wasn't just about this life, it was about every life, about breaking free from the timelines that had kept you small and stepping fully into the infinite potential that had always been waiting for you. This was your rebirth, your cosmic reset. This was no coincidence. It was a battlefield of energy and intention waged in the quiet moments of your life. The setbacks you thought were failures were actually divine maneuvers, rerouting you away from traps disguised as opportunities. Every no you received was the universe's way of clearing space for the yes that would change everything. The waiting wasn't punishment, it was precision, ensuring that when the door finally opened, it would lead to exactly where you were meant to be. As your energy shifted, so did the people around you. Those who couldn't match your vibration weren't leaving by accident. They were being expelled by the force of your transformation. You weren't losing them. You were shedding what no longer resonated, making room for connections that would support the highest version of you. This wasn't just life happening to you, it was the universe conspiring for you. Like the shedding of an old constricting skin, you began to outgrow the confines of anything that tethered you to limitation, fear, or self-denial. The process was neither gentle nor easy. It was a reckoning, a deliberate unmasking of the illusions you once mistook for truth. The version of you that dimmed its light to fit into others' shadows, that bent under the weight of unspoken expectations, that shrank itself to avoid conflict, was no longer sustainable. In its place, a new essence emerged, unapologetically expansive and unyielding, a self that no longer sought permission to exist, but instead claimed its rightful space with quiet, unshakable power. This rebirth was forged in fire, not in ease. It tore you apart, leaving you raw and exposed, grieving not just for who you were, but for all the versions of yourself that had fought so hard to survive. You mourned the comfort of familiarity, even when it had caged you, and the connections that once felt like home, even when they no longer fit. The loss felt endless, and yet, in the depths of that pain, a spark of clarity ignited. The truth that emerged shattered every illusion. You were never just enduring these trials, you were dismantling entire paradigms. You are not merely a survivor, you are a force of universal recalibration. Every system that sought to confine you, every person who underestimated your power, every cycle that tried to tether you to the past, they were never stronger than the truth of who you are. You are not here to fit in. You are here to shift everything. You were evolving into a frequency so pure, so unshakable, that anything rooted in fear, control, or self-doubt could no longer coexist with you. The process wasn't just a shedding of old habits, it was a complete unraveling of the false self you had built to survive. The version of you that sought validation, that dimmed its light to avoid judgment, that molded itself to fit the expectations of others, it had to be dismantled, piece by piece. It wasn't a graceful process. It was raw and unrelenting, like a storm tearing through everything you thought you were. But in the wreckage, something extraordinary was taking shape. The you that was emerging didn't need permission to exist, didn't shrink to make others feel safe, and didn't compromise its truth to belong. This wasn't just change, it was liberation. From the ashes of who you once were, your true self was rising, limitless, unapologetic, and fully alive. Every trial that left you shattered was a deliberate initiation, sculpting you into a force this world has been waiting for. The moments that tested your faith, that stripped you of everything familiar, were not acts of chaos, but precise alchemy, refining you into someone unshakable. Your wounds weren't meant to weaken you, they were meant to teach you resilience, to remind you of the power you've carried all along. Nothing you've endured was meaningless. Every heartbreak, every rejection, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it, was part of a grand design to awaken the warrior within you. You weren't just surviving, you were being prepared. Prepared to stand firm in your truth, to rise above the noise of conformity, and to become a beacon for those still searching for their strength. This isn't the end of your struggle, it's the beginning of your purpose. The universe chose you because only someone who has walked through the fire, who has faced the depths of despair and still found the strength to rise, could carry the wisdom the world so desperately needs. Your scars are not marks of defeat. They are the proof of your resilience, the map of your journey from darkness to light. You are not just a survivor, you are a creator, a visionary who can see beyond the rubble of collapsing systems and imagine a better world. Your awakening is perfectly aligned with this moment in history, a time when humanity craves not more control, but liberation. You are here to be the calm within the storm, the light in the shadows, the reminder that even in chaos, there is potential for renewal. This is your purpose, to show the world that from the ashes of the old, something extraordinary can be born. The vibration you now emit is a signal to the universe, a rallying cry that draws your soul family toward you like moths to a flame. These aren't chance meetings, their ancient bonds reigniting, alliances formed beyond time and space, now converging for a purpose greater than any one individual. Together, you form a collective force capable of shifting paradigms, of anchoring a new reality into existence. But with such profound alignment comes an equally profound responsibility. This is the threshold moment, the point where everything you've endured, every battle you've fought, and every lesson you've integrated culminates in a single choice: to rise into your power or to retreat into the comfort of what you've already known. The universe has prepared the way, removing barriers and amplifying your essence. But now, it's on you. Will you embrace the magnitude of your purpose, or will you let the fear of your own infinite potential hold you back? The cosmos waits for your answer. The crossroads before you is not just a choice. It is a declaration of who you are and who you are willing to become. Option 1 is the path of least resistance, a return to the familiar cage where the illusion of safety is traded for the slow erosion of your soul. It's the choice to dim your light, to shrink back into the shadows, and to tell yourself that your dreams were too big, too bold, too impossible. But option 2, that is the path of the brave. It is the choice to rise, to claim the power that has always been yours, to step fully into the vastness of your potential. It's not the easy path, but it's the only one that leads to the life you were born to live. This moment is not just about you. It's about the ripple effect of your courage, the lives you will touch, the transformations you will inspire. The universe has been waiting for you to remember who you are. The question is, will you answer the call? And now, as the dust of your old self settles, a new clarity emerges. You realize you were never meant to fit into the mold the world offered you. You were meant to shatter it. The universe didn't prepare you for a quiet life. It forged you for a revolution, one that begins within and ripples outward into everything you touch. Every step you take now feels rooted in unshakable purpose, every breath charged with the knowing that you are no longer bound by fear or doubt. The chains of smallness and scarcity have crumbled, revealing the vastness of who you truly are. You don't just walk into this new chapter, you command it, with a presence so luminous it bends reality around you. You are not here to play small, to seek permission, or to dim your brilliance for the comfort of others. You are here to ignite, to inspire, to rebuild the world from the ashes of outdated paradigms. The person you once were didn't disappear, they evolved, transcending every limit that once held them back. And now, standing in the fullness of your power, you see it clearly. This was never about becoming someone new. It was always about remembering who you've been all along. You move through the world now with a quiet, unshakable certainty, as if the very fabric of existence has begun to align itself with your presence. What once felt like intuition now feels like truth, clear and undeniable, guiding you effortlessly toward what is needed in every moment. Your words no longer just communicate, they awaken, stirring dormant potential in those who hear them. The energy you emit becomes a living force, dissolving fear, igniting courage, and lifting others into higher states of being. Every interaction, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity for alchemy, a chance to transform pain into power, doubt into clarity, and separation into unity. You have become a bridge between worlds, effortlessly weaving the seen and unseen into harmony. What once felt like a burden, the depth of your emotions, the intensity of your sensitivity, now feels like your greatest strength, the key to unlocking the potential of this reality. You no longer question your gifts, you embody them, and in doing so, you give others permission to do the same. Abundance now flows to you as effortlessly as light to the sun, drawn not by effort, but by the magnetic pull of your alignment. The world bends to meet you, offering possibilities that once seemed unimaginable, as if reality itself is responding to the frequency of your belief. You no longer strive to prove your worth or chase recognition. Your presence alone commands respect, a quiet authority that needs no validation. The barriers that once felt insurmountable have dissolved, replaced by a seamless flow of opportunities, connections, and solutions. Challenges arise only to reveal their purpose and dissolve in the face of your clarity. Synchronicities become your new language, a constant dialogue with the universe that reminds you you're exactly where you're meant to be. Your life becomes a mirror for others, reflecting the truth that nothing is impossible when you choose to heal, rise, and step fully into your power. You are no longer just living, you are leading, a beacon of what's possible when you let your transformation become your legacy. Let's be honest, awakening wasn't easy. The truth, raw and untamed, is messy and uncomfortable, and the world did everything it could to convince you it wasn't worth seeking. It was buried beneath noise, distractions, and the lies they told you to keep you small. But your soul refused to forget. It kept whispering, even when the world screamed over it. That's why you endured. That's why you never gave up, even when the weight of it all felt unbearable. Now, as the old world crumbles, those who once overlooked you, dismissed you, or tried to dim your light are beginning to realize what they've lost. They come back, not out of love, but out of regret, hoping to reclaim a piece of what they once took for granted. But you've outgrown their conditions, their limitations, their fleeting affection. You've found something they could never give you. A love so deep, so pure, and so complete that it no longer needs their approval. You are no longer seeking validation. You are the source of it. The systems that once dictated your limits now crumble beneath the weight of your freedom. What once felt like insurmountable walls have become stepping stones, effortlessly bypassed by the energy of someone who no longer plays by their rules. Opportunities flow seamlessly to you, no longer bound by their permissions or definitions of success. Those who once doubted you are left grappling with the undeniable truth that you've rewritten the script they thought was unchangeable. Your evolution strips away their illusions, forcing them to confront their own choices. Some will rise with you, inspired by your courage, while others will retreat, clinging to the comfort of their old stories. But none can deny the power of your transformation. You've become a living reminder that the game was rigged all along, and you've chosen to stop playing. Instead, you've created your own reality, one that thrives not on control, but on boundless possibility. And here lies the unexpected grace of your journey. The peace you've found within yourself spills over into how you see them. The bitterness that once weighed heavy on your heart has dissolved into a quiet empathy, a knowing that their struggles were never about you, but about their own unspoken fears. You've stopped taking their projections personally because you now see beyond the surface, beyond the masks they wear to hide their pain. And as you release the chains of resentment, you make space for something extraordinary. Kindred souls begin to gather around you, drawn by the resonance of your truth. These are not connections built on need or convenience, but on mutual respect and shared purpose. Each interaction feels like a divine appointment, a meeting of energies that amplify rather than diminish. Together, you co-create, not from a place of lack, but from a place of overflowing abundance. Love enters your life, not as a lesson to endure, but as a gift to cherish, pure, expansive, and unafraid of your depth. You've discovered what it means to truly belong, not because you've conformed, but because you've finally embraced everything you are. Together, you ignite a force so powerful it transcends anything you could have imagined alone. The energy of your union, whether in love, friendship, or collaboration, doesn't just inspire change. It redefines what is possible. What once felt like small ripples of growth now surge into unstoppable waves of transformation, touching lives far beyond your immediate reach. You realize that every moment of solitude, every heartbreak, every rejection was a sacred initiation, shaping you into the person who could hold this kind of power with grace. The isolation taught you resilience, the pain taught you depth. Now, standing in this collective light, you see that the struggles you endured were not a punishment, but a preparation for the profound impact you're now making. Together, you are not just shifting consciousness, you are rewriting the story of what humanity is capable of. Your journey evolves into a living testament to the power of transformation, a quiet, undeniable proof that even the deepest wounds can bloom into something beautiful. The scars you once hid now shine like constellations, mapping the path for others lost in their own darkness. You don't need to speak your story. It's written in the way you carry yourself, in the calm strength of your presence, in the way your eyes reflect a knowing that words could never convey. You've become a mirror reflecting the potential that lies dormant in others, reminding them of their own untapped power. Without effort or intention, you spark awakenings in those who cross your path, not by fixing them, but by showing them what it looks like to heal. Your resilience whispers to them, "If I can rise, so can you." And in your rising, you create a ripple effect, one that extends far beyond what you can see, giving others the courage to step into their own light, to reclaim their own stories, and to realize that they too can turn pain into purpose. And then the realization hits. You are no longer simply a participant in the unfolding of life, you are a co-creator with the universe itself. What once felt impossible now bends effortlessly to your will, not because of force, but because of alignment. Every intention you set ripples through unseen realms, weaving reality into form with precision and purpose. Your energy has become a catalyst, a bridge between the infinite and the tangible, where dreams are no longer distant whispers, but immediate possibilities. What you once feared to wish for now unfolds with ease, as if the universe has been waiting for you to claim your role. Your focus isn't just a tool, it's a declaration, a command that the cosmos responds to with unwavering obedience. You are no longer bound by limitations. You are the embodiment of limitless potential, a living portal through which the extraordinary becomes inevitable. Those moments spent in solitude, crafting visions in the shadows of your pain, were never just acts of survival. They were rehearsals for your power. What once felt like fragile hope has become unshakable certainty, a language the universe now understands with perfect clarity. Every image you held in your mind, every word you whispered into the void, was a seed planted in the fertile soil of the quantum field, waiting for this moment to bloom. Now, as you speak with unwavering conviction, reality shifts to meet your words. The universe doesn't just listen, it responds, eager to align with the clarity of your intent. Your visions are no longer distant dreams. They are blueprints, and with every breath, you are building the life you once only dared to imagine. The universe moves with a sense of urgency, as if it has been waiting for your command all along. Doors you never noticed before swing open, and paths you never imagined reveal themselves with perfect clarity. The right connections appear as if divinely orchestrated, each person carrying a puzzle piece to complete your vision. Coincidences dissolve into patterns, and patterns become proof that your alignment is no accident. This is not luck. This is mastery born of fire, a power forged in the depths of your trials. Every heartbreak was a recalibration, every setback a sharpening of your focus. Now, the abundance you once chased flows freely, magnetized by the unwavering frequency of your belief. It's no longer about effort, it's about resonance. You have become the embodiment of possibility, and the universe cannot help but respond in kind, delivering miracles as naturally as the sun rises. The opportunities and blessings flowing into your life are not random. They are echoes of the transformation within you, proof that you've stepped into a new reality where abundance is your natural state. Your external world reshapes itself to mirror the wealth you now carry in your spirit. The home you reside in, the people you surround yourself with, the experiences you attract, all rise to meet the vibrational standard you've set. Scarcity no longer holds any power here. It cannot exist in a space filled with the certainty of your worth. Every corner of your life becomes a testament to the truth you now embody, that you are limitless, deserving, and deeply aligned with the flow of infinite abundance. Your presence has become a beacon, radiating an energy so magnetic and transformative that it reshapes not only your own reality, but the realities of everyone around you. The clothes you choose, the way you carry yourself, and the glow in your eyes are not about vanity. They are reflections of the limitless power now coursing through you. Your mere existence has become a catalyst for change. Strangers feel lighter in your presence, as if hope has been reignited within them. Loved ones find answers to questions they've been asking for years, as though your elevated frequency unlocks doors they didn't even know existed. You're no longer just living your life, you're creating ripples of abundance, healing, and possibility that extend far beyond what you can see. This is not just your transformation, it's a collective awakening sparked by the brilliance of your being. Your energy has become a finely tuned compass, guiding you with unwavering clarity toward what aligns with your highest self. You no longer tolerate what dims your light, instinctively stepping away from negativity and chaos before it can take root. Strangers walk away from even the briefest encounters with you, their hearts lighter, their minds clearer, as if they've glimpsed a brighter version of themselves through your presence. You've mastered the art of recalibration, effortlessly identifying and releasing anything that disrupts your harmony. Environments that once drained you now hold no power, for you carry your own sanctuary within. Every thought, every action, every interaction is deliberate, a conscious choice to create, uplift, and expand. Your energy is no longer just yours, it's a force of nature, reshaping the world around you with quiet but undeniable power. Old patterns and limiting beliefs no longer sneak past your awareness. They light up on your inner radar like distant echoes of a person you've long outgrown. But now, you hold the ultimate power, the ability to recalibrate your energy with precision and ease. When chaos stirs, you summon calm like an artist mixing colors onto a blank canvas. When fear whispers, you counter it with the steady hum of unshakable trust. Resistance no longer feels like a wall, but a wave you can ride, shifting your energy to dissolve barriers before they even materialize. This mastery of your inner world has freed you from the grip of external forces, the moods of others, the unpredictability of life, and the currents of collective fear no longer dictate your experience. You are the architect of your own atmosphere, and it radiates clarity, strength, and brilliance wherever you go.